Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Money in the Bank review show. What a review show we have for you. Coming up, we're going to talk about a lot going on. As you see, the Money in the Bank winners, Io Sky wins the women's Money in the Bank. Io Sky cashes her ticket to any championship she wants, as well as Damian Priest has become the new Mr. Money in the Bank. I told you earlier on the predicted outcome that he might be the dark horse to win. We'll talk about that. And two, a night of betrayal. When I mean betrayal, we did not see this coming right here. Women's Tag Team Champions Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Shayna attacking Ronda out of nowhere. What's going on here? We'll get to that in a minute. And plus, also too, Jay Uso. Uzi. You know what I mean? Jay Uso. Jay Uso wins, pins Roman Reigns in nearly 4 after Roman has been pinned in nearly 3.5 years. We'll talk about it coming up here for the Money in the Bank review show. And it starts right now on the Pro Wrestling Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you could join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show, here for the Money in the Bank after show or review show or aftermath, whatever you want to call it. We're here. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell somebody, anybody, what you want to know. Connect TV is there and here. We want to be there, and our social platforms are there for you tonight. As we get to this, a lot going on the road to SummerSlam, and a lot of possibilities could be showing sooner rather than later. We'll be talking about the Bloodline, the Usos, and the Roman, the Universal Champion, and Solo. These may happen tonight. We'll get to that in a minute. But like I said, join in that conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, we're going to get things started with this. As you see, Seth Rollins, we'll talk about him a little bit later on in the show. But this is what kicked off Money in the Bank. We knew one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches was going to kick off. Here's what happened. Right here. This right here. This is the match, the Money in the Bank match, where all 7 participants, LA Knight, who was considered the heavy favorite to win, Shinsuke Nakamura, who been on numerous Money in the Bank matches, as well as Ricochet, Logan Paul making his Money in the Bank debut in the ladder match, Santos Escobar, what's his name, Damian Priest, and Butch. This match right here was so fast and furious, you had to keep up with the match going. I mean, everybody was in it. Butch made an impact last night on SmackDown. He tried to reach the ladder and try to reach the climb for success. Butch was no successful match to that. And this is what you see right here. Shinsuke Nakamura and LA Knight, both men trying to get their hands, climb the ladder and reach the briefcase. This was some of the entrances was. You saw Santos Escobar in some Aztec gear. Damian Priest looked like something from a comic book. Logan Paul being himself, LA Knight just being himself, a regular Joe. Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura being himself. And they was off to the races. And I mean off to the races indeed. A lot going on. Money in the Bank. Like I said, my pick was, I either thought it was going to be Logan Paul was going to be the winner. But Logan Paul tried to have an alliance with Damian Priest. The alliance did not work. Now, this was from LA Knight, who I thought looked impressive. LA Knight from yesterday did his thing with Butch. LA Knight went against Butch and Santos in a match as well. But the true story of this is this. The Dark Horse wins the match. And the The dark horse was indeed Damian Priest. Damian Priest now is Mr. Money in the Bank. Damian Priest, well deserved. Damian Priest probably got praised for his performance with Bad Bunny this past May at Backlash 2 months ago. So he had to be rewarded for making Bad Bunny look good. And we'll talk about a little bit later what Damian Priest did and caused a conflict between him and Finn Balor. We'll talk about that coming up shortly in a few minutes. But Damian Priest now holds the hold the briefcase. I meant to say, don't hold no gold yet. But Damian Priest now holds the briefcase, and he could be cashing in on any moment within 1 year. So Damian Priest wins Money in the Bank. Congratulations to Damian. And this was a high move. Ricochet and Logan Paul. They always do those moves. Even Ricochet tried to do Logan Paul through the table. Good God. Speaking of that, was the women's tag team championship match for the Money in the Bank. We had Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles. Like I said, the women's tag team titles. They don't have the NXT women's tag team championship no more. They got absorbed. They got retired, and now the WWE women's tag team titles could be like originally planned, go through all three shows. Well, Ronda and Shayna looked like they was going to be defending fighting champions. We told you on the predicted outcome that was going to happen. Well, the prediction came a little bit too soon to be true. After Ronda and Shayna were going to do their move, all of a sudden Shayna Baszler attacked Ronda Rousey, beating up Ronda Rousey, and no one didn't know what that was going. It was the shocker. What a betrayal! Ronda Rousey didn't see it coming. Ronda Rousey was trying to plead with Shayna to see what's going on. Shayna tried to get her hands on Ronda, even choking Ronda out. I like, what the hell's going on? And Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they were shocked like the rest of them. They didn't even see this coming. I mean, they did not see this coming one bit. Shayna Baszler got a lot of explaining to do as to what she did to Ronda Rousey. Choking Ronda out like that. These two women kind of came up in the same cloth. They kind of worked together. They kind of grew up in the MMA business. And now, maybe Shayna was the one that brought Ronda into the WWE. Now, we see some jealousy in type soon. But Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are now the new women's tag team champions going forward. But you have to wonder, like, what's going on with this? Shayna Baszler choking out Ronda Rousey and then beating her up. Now, I don't know if this is going to lead to a match at SummerSlam between these two women. But this time, ain't no championship online. I think you really don't need a championship and I think now these days for the women, so that's kind of good when you think about it. You don't really need the title to make it seem personal. It's just that personal. So I guess we're gonna be paying attention more going forward. This is gonna be something on Raw moving forward with that on Monday. And we probably get more information, more details on why Shayna Baszler did what she did to Ronda Rousey. Good God. Well, we move on to another match. We continue our match and momentum and stuff to this. Two sons of legendary performers, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and Rey Mysterio, the Master of 619. Their sons are in action. Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic looking to prove a point to Cody. I think Cody looking to prove his point to Dominic. And I think Dominic wanted to show he's the one that's in control, in the lead and stuff. And we did see that. We saw Cody try. Well, we saw this earlier. This was beforehand. Dominic came out there with the women's champion, Rhea Ripley, who came out there. Dominic had some ammo or gear or something. Like he went to prison. Cody came out there as just typical Cody Rhodes. And Cody tried to take it to Dominic. Dominic tried to take it to Cody. Cody and Dominic had their brutal match. Cody Rhodes watching his back forward with women's champion Rhea Ripley. Cody used the crossroads to pin Dominic to get the win. We didn't see no Brock Lesnar sign So I don't know what's going on moving forward with that. With Cody and Brock Lesnar, would they kind of fight each other sooner rather than later? It's only telling, but we have to wait and see because it's just a month away from SummerSlam. Brock has not made an appearance. Cody Rhodes wins his match over Dominic Mysterio and the new sponsor for WWE, Bud Light. Bud Light, the new sponsor of WWE. Ain't that something? Bud Light, the new sponsor for Cody Rhodes, now wins his match. Another match that happened on a lot of returns, but we'll talk about that. Gunther defended the Intercontinental Championship against Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle and Gunther have met before. Matt Riddle trying to win the Intercontinental Championship. What Intercontinental Championship it was for Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle never won the Intercontinental Championship. Won the U.S. Matt Riddle looking to get his hands on the Intercontinental title. Riddle tried to take down Gunther. Like I said, Gunther did not let be. Like I said, Gunther taking it to Riddle. I think one day my Gunther's gonna be a fighting champion. Gunther was that a fighting champion, and Gunther retained his Intercontinental Championship. But the big surprise was this: the big return was Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere. We haven't seen Drew since WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere and Claymore kicked the Intercontinental Champion, laid him out in the pickings, and now we probably have an Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre holding the Intercontinental title, the title that he won a couple of years ago, almost a decade to the date. So Drew McIntyre looking to get returns to WWE and looking to get back to become the Intercontinental Champion once again. Speaking of that, the man, the myth, the legend, John Cena returned out of nowhere. John Cena had an interesting proposition. John Cena saying the WWE officials and management does not listen to the fans and said that the fans in London need WrestleMania. There's been a lot of debate about that going forward. A lot of times, like WWE have a live event in London. Why WWE doesn't bring WrestleMania to London? John Cena wanted to answer the call, answer the challenge. Cena even we get beforehand. Cena even taking pictures with the Money in the Bank winners, Damian Priest and Io Sky to I guess get them that endorsement, I guess. But John Cena came back tonight, and John Cena put that out in the atmosphere that he wants to see WrestleMania, London host WrestleMania. There's been some talk about London hosting WrestleMania, and we could see that coming forward and stuff. But that's just that hearsay. What we'll say. But Grayson Waller from the Grayson Waller Effect showed up and said that WrestleMania needs to be in Australia, of all places. WrestleMania. He said that, but WrestleMania. Cena decided Grayson Waller decided to attack Cena. Cena came out of nowhere and hit the AA on Grayson Waller, leaving Grayson Waller down and out for the count. Grayson Waller did not see that, did not expect that. And so Grayson Waller getting mistreated and defeated by legends. John Cena from the Ruthless Aggression era. And coming up this week on SmackDown, Grayson Waller will be in Madison Square Garden in New York City. And he will host the Grayson Waller Effect with special guest Edge. I don't know if that's going to lead to a match between them at SummerSlam. Who knows? That could be the possibility. But John Cena just popped out of nowhere tonight. Did not see that coming. John Cena showed up at Money in the Bank with an interesting proposition that WrestleMania needs to come to London. So, hey. All right. All right. Speaking of that, the women's Money in the Bank. 6 women compete for an opportunity to become Miss Money in the Bank and to hold the contract for a championship match for 1 year. We had veterans like Bayley, Becky Lynch, former women's champions. Becky Lynch, former Hall of Famer Trish Stratus was in it. Newcomers, Io Sky, Zoe Starks, Zelina Vega, a veteran, but she never won a women's title. These six women wanted to prove their worth to see who was going to earn an opportunity to win the women's Money in the Bank. And I mean, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was fast and furious, like the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was. And I tell you this, the women can go. I mean, all of them took those nasty bump shots. I mean, it was nasty, but hey, someone has to do it. But Becky Lynch came out there. Becky Lynch trying to get this ovation. We thought she was the fan favorite to win it. Becky Lynch did not came short, but she had a spot where with Trish and Zoe try to hand. Just did what she did. Sorry, folks, about that technical difficulties, but we're back. I wish Becky would have just played the key, but she did, but none at the end. Io Sky with that nasty shot right here. Zelina Vega took in a nasty shot to Zoe Starks into the ladder. I'm surprised these women want to have kids or something one day. And Io Sky grabbed the briefcase. Real smart by Io. Io tied both Becky and Bailey, and Io climbed up the ladder to success. Io Sky wins women's Money in the Bank. Io Sky now holds the contract for opportunity. This is right here. We're talking about right here. Io Sky used Bailey and Becky with the handcuffs and climbed over and did what she did and win the women's Money in the Bank. Congratulations to Io Sky. My choice, I thought who was going to win it in the first place. Congratulations to her. All right. We go to a World Heavyweight Championship match. The world title is on the line. Seth Rollins defends the world title against Finn Balor. Finn Balor won the world title 7 years ago. Didn't hold it but for like merely 24 hours and then had relinquished it. Said Seth Rollins was the one that laughed at him after he had to relinquish the title. Well, Finn Balor wanted some revenge, and Finn Balor wanted some measure of revenge on what happened to him. Finn Balor wanted to prove to the world, like I said, Seth Rollins came out there with his fanfare, proper stance, and circumstances. Seth Rollins looking to make a move and make a point, be known. One thing about Seth is going to be that master of ceremonies or whatever you want to call it. Seth Rollins tried to get the job done tonight. Um, Seth Rollins came out there. Even Damian Priest came out there. Damian Priest now holds the contract that he has. Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank contract could be a world champion. I'm surprised they didn't go with LA Knight. That's just crazy. But Damian Priest was out there, I guess, to support his boy Finn. But Seth Rollins looked at what's going to happen now. Seth Rollins thought Damian was going to cash on him, but Damian did not cash on him. Seth Rollins looked at like he was perturbed. There is some tension going on between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Finn Balor and Damian Priest may not be seeing eye to eye, not like they used to, because now Damian has the briefcase, and Finn could be jealous of Damian holding the briefcase. But Seth Rollins managed to find a way, and Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor to retain his world title. So Seth Rollins is still the world heavyweight champion once again. So congratulations to Seth Rollins. And I don't know what the tension is going to lie between Finn Balor and Damian Priest going forward. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out eventually. Well, we get to one thing. We get to one thing only: the Civil War, the main event, right here. The bloodline explodes between Roman Reigns, the undisputed champion, and Solo Sikoa team up once again against the Usos. Could the Usos overcome Roman's abuse and tyranny had they been so long ago? Well, no time was telling, no time was waiting for the weirdery and stuff between this match. I mean, so what's his name? Roman had to make a point and make a point clear on what he was going to do tonight. And Roman did what he did. Roman, even Paul Heyman made mention that, hey, do you want your sons, Roman, to lead, to follow his lead, follow Jay lead, as the baby being told what to do? And Roman looked like, hell no. Roman did not like that one bit. But it came down to it. The Usos did a double spear. Roman did a spear. It was like hot spot at the spot fest. Roman tried to prevent the Usos from winning. Jay, Roman did the same thing he did at WrestleMania 37 with Edge and Daniel Bryan when he stacked both men on top of each other to get the win. Well, that did not happen. Roman got low blow after Jay kicked out and low blowed him accidentally. Jay found a way. Jay hit the splash. The Usos defeated Roman Reigns in a shocker. Jay Uso, main event Jay Uso, who I believe that could be next in line for a title match, and that title match could be the possibility down the road, and it could happen at SummerSlam between these two men. I can see that being a possibility, but Roman Reigns loses tonight, and then we saw that earlier with Solo tried to take down his brother. That did not work tonight. Um, Jay getting measure revenge. Jay and Jimmy were tired of being mistreated. They wanted respect, and Roman Reigns had to humble himself tonight. Roman Reigns now has to look at Jay and Jimmy like a threat. They're breaking out their shell, and they're finally moving on. This is what happened last night on SmackDown right here. They had that face-to-face confrontation, but the confrontation didn't lend so well. So I can probably see Jay challenging Roman for the world title on SmackDown and getting the opportunity. Jay was the first man to pin Roman Reigns in nearly 3.5 years. What a feat that was! What an accomplishment! Now we move forward to see what's next for Jay and Jimmy heading forward, because this is the possibility of the end game. What's going to happen down the road? So that could be the question tonight. All right. Um, that ends the Money in the Bank review. Later on tonight, we'll be back later on with hot topics and more. We'll get you caught up on what's going on around the block, on what's happening. We'll probably talk a little bit about Jay, the Uso, Jay and Jimmy defeating Roman Reigns tonight. So, for me being Kendrick Dick saying, thank you for watching. The Pro Wrestling Show presents the Money in the Bank review show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick saying so long. We'll see you a little bit later on. Got more content for you for AEW Collision Ring Report. So stick around later on and we'll be back.